And welcome back, everybody. DreamHack Open in Stockholm. It was 1 year ago at another tournament in this very city. Actually, it's the same tournament. That a Swedish player, Evil Genius's Thorzane, was able to topple Pult and win it. And in doing so, he won for himself this gorgeous, gigantic star made of 24-karat diamond worth millions of dollars in esports currency. It was a big, big win, and today, during this quarterfinal, we have our last two foreigners, but more importantly, our last two Swedish players. How about that? And I know you guys are excited about this match, so am I. Let's introduce the players. It is Alliance Naniwa and Western Wolves Sortof. Now, gentlemen, I know you guys are both famous for being very wordy, so let's try to keep this at a minimum. That's important, too. Okay. We'll get it together, I promise you. Now, I've got a question that's for both of you guys. A lot of people are really excited about the nationalism for this kind of a tournament. We had Thorzane representing in the past. Sase was doing great earlier. Now it's you two. Do you guys, does that factor in at all? Does it matter that you're both Swedish? Is there a little bit extra oomph on the line, or is this just another match for you guys?
For me, I think it's good that there's only two foreigners left and we're both Swedish, so I think we've done our part so far. I hope once the winner of us plays the Korean, we can win against them too. But it's going to be really hard, but you can always dream.
Yeah, well, wow, okay. That was a good line. Taken aback by how good of a line that was, actually.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yes.
You gotta be kidding me right now.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, I agree with Naniwa. I think either of us has a good chance to at least make it to the finals, and maybe with a bit of luck, even take the finals.
Okay. Yeah? Now, you both have trained in Korea. I heard Take asking you about that, and you guys kind of talked about that a little bit. You're pretty well suited to play these Koreans, but how about for each other? Talk to me a little bit about this match for each other. Do you guys play a lot of games? Have you played a lot of games? Do you hate each other? Do you like each other? Where are we at on Facebook with this?
We used to play together a lot in Wings of Liberty, but in Heart of the Swarm, we haven't played much at all. So this is going to be like one of our first games, I think.
Do you blame Broodlords for that, or is that...
What?
Yeah. It was a bad joke.
Yeah.
That's what I do. Naniwa?
Well, we are friends on Facebook, so...
There you go. All right, guys. Last question for you. Do you have any words for each other as you enter into this match?
Not really.
Okay. Sort of?
May the best man win.
There you go. All right. Thanks a lot, guys. Good luck. Have fun. Yeah, so. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we've had enough downtime. Let's get this match underway. Our casters, please, take it away.
Thanks, In Control. Nice interview there, for sure. Yeah. Naniwa and Sortof, men of very few words, but very much StarCraft skill.
They got a lot of words within the game here today. Both of them are absolutely fantastic, representing Sweden here. One of them's going to the semi-finals. Which one? We're going to have to find out. I remember, actually, roughly 5 months ago, I think, they even talked about it briefly in Wings of Liberty, when the World Championship Series was here last year in 2012 in the Nordic Nationals. Sortof beat Naniwa 2-0 on this stage.
That is true. I remember watching that at home, Apollo, and Naniwa was not too happy with that, but he is playing just fantastically so far at this tournament. You can say the same for Sortof, but I feel like Naniwa has had a bit of a harder path.
Absolutely. Group Stage 2 is where it really shines out. Or Group Stage 3, sorry. He went through MC and Yu-Gi-Oh! Two amazing players. And we're going to see if he can do it again here.
Mm-hmm. Well, who would you favor here between Sortof and Naniwa?
In Wings of Liberty, I would say Sortof. In Heart of the Swarm, I'm saying Naniwa.
All right. All right. Well, I think I have to agree with you. I'm liking Naniwa's play so far, but he's played a lot of Protoss vs. Zerg games, and I feel like Sortof has a lot of information to work with against Naniwa. Naniwa has used a ton of gateway expands, and Sortof might just go ahead and counter that blindly.
He may do. They know each other's style. May not necessarily know each other's strategies when it comes to Heart of the Swarm, but they know each other's style and how they like to play. They've played before many times before, and I'm very excited for this because this is their first real international showing when it comes to Heart of the Swarm. Both of them have been in Korea. Western Wolves sent Sortof there. He stayed in the NS Hoso house. Naniwa's been staying in the EGTL house.
Yeah.
This is just going to be a great game no matter what happens.
I think so. Well, we'll have to see the clashes of the styles. Sortof used to be just so into Broodlord Infestor. How do you feel he's made the transition into Heart of the Swarm, where Broodlord Infestor is not as good as of a unit composition?
It's a very difficult call to make because I haven't seen any of his games. None whatsoever, actually. 0 games when it comes to Heart of the Swarm. Actually, no, I take that back. I saw 1 game against Terran in the GSTL when he came out against Azubu. He played Ganji, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And he looked good, but against Protoss, I have absolutely no idea. If he's going to follow regular trends, then we're going to see some normal standard play, similar to how we saw Hyun take the approach earlier.
I really wouldn't be surprised if we do see him use Roach Hydra. Hey, he even used it against Ganji in that match in the GSTL, and if you're going to use it against Terran, you're probably going to use it against Protoss as well. And
if that's going to be his style, he's going to be focusing on double evolution chambers, getting out that hive, getting those Vipers in, and looking to really hit Naniwa where it hurts. But that's Sortof. How is Naniwa going to approach it? We've seen a lot of his games against Zerg so far, and most notably earlier today against TLO where he won 2-1.
Yeah, a pretty close series overall. Naniwa always has a very good plan in place, and I'm sure we're going to see that here. Our first map looks like it is going to be Akalon Wastes.
Ooh.
Do you think he's going to gateway expand here?
Looking at a general Protoss perspective, I'd say no. But it's Naniwa who's opened up gateway expand in every single game we've seen so far.
Yeah.
So odds do say gateway again.
I think it could be.
It's time, Autosis.
It is indeed. Now we're going to introduce these players, and they're both Swedish. And they're both awesome, so I want you guys to make the most noise you made so far. Down here in the bottom right, give it up, make some noise for Sortof.
Swedish representative number 1 here. His opponent, also from Sweden, the 2 non-Koreans left. Up here to the top left, it is Naniwa! A force to be reckoned with.
Oh, certainly. It has been a very long time that Naniwa has been one of the top foreigners that you can rely on to beat Koreans. And if he can get past Sortof here, well, he's going to have a pretty hard next match against either Jaedong or Gumiho, but they aren't completely unbeatable. There is a possibility he could do it.
Absolutely, and they both have confidence in doing so. It's going to be difficult no matter what. Jaedong and Gumiho are absolutely amazing. Gumiho pegged as a big favorite to take down the entire tournament here. But if, with this kind of crowd behind him, anything is truly possible here at DreamHack. It really is.
That's right. Well, it is going to be a gateway expansion, it looks like, here from Naniwa. I'm really not too surprised. He's really favored this build above Forge Expand so far in this tournament. And Akalon, that's a big choke down at the bottom to do a Forge Expand on, so this isn't a terrible choice for the map overall anyways.
Very interested to see how Sortof has developed into Heart of the Swarm, because in all honesty, it did take him a long time to really hit the swing going when it comes to Wings of Liberty here. I don't know how he's going to perform when it comes to Hearts.
Yeah, I'm with you on this. I've really only seen him in that GSTL match against Terran, so I'm very interested to see how he's changed his play, because obviously he's not some sort of patch Zerg or something, right? He's made it this far in one of the most ridiculously hard tournaments we have ever seen. So it's clear that he doesn't have to rely on his old Wings of Liberty skills.
And, he's already hit a personal achievement, a personal high here at DreamHack, his highest result before this was the round of 16 at Bucharest, a smaller event last year. Here in the Stockholm, the biggest DreamHack to date. He's in the quarterfinals, in the round of 8 already, with a chance to go higher and further. But Naniwa is a special player here. It's the reason why he has so many global fans.
Yeah. Well, Sortof now is scouting the timing of that Nexus, and he's going to know that this is, in fact, a gateway expand. And look at that, a gas going down immediately. I love it. Sortof has watched Naniwa's games, and he knows what's going on. Naniwa is probably going to go 4 gates and a Stargate here.
Yeah, that's kind of the build that Naniwa's been falling back on. And Sortof's obviously been watching the majority of Naniwa's games, especially the game against Tilo. It was on stage just before, so we'll see how he's going to combat this style. Tilo struggled a little bit with keeping his third base up and running against Naniwa, but 2 Lings do make their way inside here.
And he's going to be able to scout quite a bit, but you know, the one thing he really needs to look at is that there's no gas.
Yeah.
That second gas is not taken, and that pretty much guarantees that Naniwa is going to throw down 3 more gateways. You know, that is the only thing that can really mean. So, you know, Sortof is going to have to get his production going relatively soon on units.
And there comes down to 3 gateways, and he actually sees them with the Zergling 2. 1, 2, 3, and he picks up full scouting information in this game. And he isn't actually rushing down his third base. He's opted to build a third queen. He may decide to take it shortly here, but with this third queen out, he's going to be able to connect creep spread, get it moving out there. Zergling speed is on the way, and so far he is set up quite nicely.
Yeah, he's getting a good amount of drones under his belt before he goes. Now, this probe going to be able to put down a pylon, as we don't have any Zerglings out, or enough at least to stop it. Only 2 out right now. Trying to go for that probe, but Azala is close behind.
Well, he might be able to pick off the probe here. Just 1 hit away there, unfortunately. Where is that Mothership Core and Zealot? And it looks like this probe shall be able to live. But he does spot the pylon, most importantly, out of all of this.
Yeah. Naniwa, with the exact same build that we have seen from him time and time again. That pylon going to finish up, and we are going to see a bunch of Zealots warping in. A lot of Lings on the way for Sortof.
Yeah, 10 Lings, and it's a really nice build here by Naniwa, getting in there right before Zergling speed is close to finishing, and he may force a cancel.
Yeah, you know what? I think he might. Yeah, he's definitely going to force that cancel. But that hatch wasn't too close to die.
Yeah, this is really well constructed here by Naniwa, and he's going to grab the queen here. There goes down the time wall. The Zergling's coming to help. Oh, the queen squeezes out, baby. The Mothership Core chasing it down.
We'll see if the Mothership Core can finish it off. And in fact, more Zealots warping in right now. 14 more Lings on the way as well. And those Lings finally get speed, so he's going to be a lot more mobile with them.
One thing to notice is double time what came down. There's no recall here. He could actually lose all these Zealots. I'm not sure if that's going to work out in his favor here. We'll see, as a lot of Lings are coming out. 1 queen does fall down.
And now he's in this very tight area where Zealots are going to do far better. Now the top Zealots getting surrounded quite nicely, but those bottom Zealots really holding their position.
And, well, a couple of Zealots are left, and not too many drones are being killed here. It looks like he is trading off with these Zerglings. The Zealots will finally fall. The queen, is he going to go down against that Mothership Core? No, he isn't, as Naniwa does have to pull back here. And, you know, in the previous games when he was playing against TLO, every single time he got out with all those Zealots. In this scenario, he didn't, and he did do damage, but does it matter that he lost the Zealots, that is?
You know, I don't think it matters that he lost the Zealots. I think he got himself into a good spot. He got the drone count down to 26 before a big round of drones came back in. So 26 against 40 probes, even if it's just momentarily, is pretty nice. He also forced the cancel there, forced a lot of Lings, killed a lot of Lings off. I think that that was successful.
I really like that Naniwa's used this build over and over and over. It shows his confidence in that he can actually take down that third no matter what the response is from the Zerg player. Every single time, he will get there before Zergling speed is ready, and with good use of the Mothership Core, he's able to consistently bring it down. And I think that, if anything, considering sort of what I was saying in the games earlier, has to be an adjustment made in there. This can't keep happening to Zerg players. Yeah,
someone is going to have to figure this out, whether that's Sortof or perhaps if Naniwa wins and Jaedong wins, Jaedong can do it. But they're going to have to do something a bit different there. That third base is just not takeable against this that early.
One of the weaknesses of this build, though, from Naniwa is he's only just now got +1 attack. I mean, it's not a big point in here. It's just to note that it is quite delayed. But if we look on the other side, Sortof doesn't have any upgrades either. Only just now getting his Hydralist end down. So look at actually the supply count. That's actually very unordinary. 82 supply from Naniwa, 58.
Yeah, that's not what you really expect to see here. But A decent amount of it's in Zealots, which aren't going to be too helpful right now. But I really do like Naniwa's position. You know, he's going into Colossus. He has a good amount of Phoenixes already. And he's going to take that third base that's very easy to defend.
Well, here come the Phoenixes, and they're going to move forward. Not sure if they've been scouted or not, because I haven't seen any Spore Crawlers come down whatsoever. And these, well, actually, there is one there, sorry. And a second one. Okay, I skipped that. And a third one. Thank you, Adabisi.
Yeah, cheers to Adabisi, by the way, a great observer.
There you go. There you go. I'm sure he can hear that. Overlord's going down here. And we do have Naniwa maintaining the supply lead and keeping on the pressure. This third base, it's 11 minutes in the game, and it still actually hasn't become functional yet.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. And, you know, we only have 44 drones against 60 probes right now. Naniwa he's just kind of running sort of ragged here.
I mean, what's Naniwa's plan from this position? He's set up a third base, which is going to be untouchable. He's got a lot of force fields available. He has Colossus on the way. Is he just going to hit a massive 3-base timing here, considering how much he slowed down Sortof from the beginning to now?
He has to. Look at this situation, because Sortof doesn't have any real army or any real economy. How is he going to stop a Colossus timing? You know, he doesn't have an infestation pit started, nor a spire, so his anti-Colossus tech is going to be minimal or non-existent. I feel like that's going to be a perfect scenario for Naniwa on 3 bases. Just add a bunch of gates and move out.
And Naniwa must be so happy with what he's seen here. Again, he's going to be able to pick off a couple of units here if he comes to the right-hand side and flicks around towards the drone count. And we did see the drones be moved off there, but he's seen only Hydralisk here. I mean, Naniwa can virtually move out with, I don't know, 3 Colossus? And I don't know how that's going to be stopped.
That's a good thing to say there, Apollo. But I think he's actually going to move out with 2. His 4 gateways are about to finish, as well as Thermal Lance. And there's no reason to really wait. We do see the infestation pit on the way, but that means he's going for Vipers, and that's still a ways off.
This is going to be very difficult for Sortof to deal with here. Only Hydros, they have no armor upgrades whatsoever, so they're just going to die almost instantly versus these Colossus, especially with the Phoenix helping and backing up too. Well, here comes Naniwa with this push out. An excellently well-played game by Naniwa. From the get-go, if you look at Naniwa's mistakes, I don't even think there were any in this game. He's played so crisp, so clean, and he's looking to just finish it off with ease.
You are actually completely right, Apollo. There has not been a mistake from Naniwa so far. He has followed through with every single plan he set out perfectly.
From the get-go, with the Zealots taking the third to the Phoenixes to the finishing move here, and this is what it really could be if nailed perfectly. With the +1 armor about to complete here as well, that's a beefy army. The Hive is trying to get out here. He's trying to get to those Vipers, but no way. There's nothing to stop the Colossus unless somehow he can wrap his way around the army, the Protoss Ball, but the quantity isn't there.
There's no way. There's 3 sentries with completely full energy. That is a lot of force fields. He's just not going to be able to surround this army. But he is getting that Hive, so Vipers are going to be out pretty soon. If he could stall out for another minute or so, he might have a chance, but it looks like Naniwa's moving in for the kill.
Yeah, he's looking for the perfect position here. A couple of force fields go down, and Naniwa's looking to pick up this win. Let's see some more carnage here as he gets ready to take this down, and this army is looking absolutely unstoppable. Naniwa throwing force fields down in every single direction, and he is brutalizing everything Sortof has. GG, what a game from Naniwa here to open us up in this third quarterfinal.
That was a crushing victory right there, really.
That was easy, you could almost say, for Naniwa. I don't think he broke sweat once in that game.
No, he followed through with the build exactly as he has it planned out, and every single step of it worked perfectly. Sort of was completely undone and outplayed.
He was, I mean, I can't say anything else on top of that. Sortof needs to step it up a level here. He needs to change gear, otherwise he will fall 0-2. That was a crushing defeat. And Naniwa just showing us that he's ready to continue through with this tournament.
Yeah. You know what? Sort of at this point, my suggestion to him would be blind counter this build. Naniwa continues to use it. It's so powerful. And it's so Zealot based. You know, you have to be very careful. Don't take that third base. Stop the attack first.
If we, jump back with our memory a little bit here to go to the TLO Naniwa game on Neoplanet S, maybe that was TLO's approach when he did initially go for that Bailing Nest. Maybe he was trying to blind counter it, as you suggest.
Yeah.
And Naniwa's not afraid to change it up a little bit, which forced that indecision initially from TLO. And I wonder if Sortof may get caught in a similar trap here if Naniwa was to change it up.
It could happen, but if he gets Lings in again and scouts just one gas after a gateway expansion, I say just throw down a Roach Horn. Forget about the Zergling speed. Throw down a Roach Horn, make a group of Roaches, and move across the map. Because Naniwa does the same thing every time. He has a Zealot in the choke, then he moves out with the probe and has just a single sentry. So if he does make a group of Roaches, that counterattack is going to actually be pretty powerful.
Well, we'll have to see what Sortof has up his sleeves here before we get into this game. I'm not sure if you'll host or not. It might have mistakenly been, so if you want to sort that out for us while we get this game underway. I hope you're enjoying yourselves at home and here in the audience as well. This is going to be a good last few games. We've got this one coming up now to complete this series, and then we're going over to Jaedong, playing live on the stage against Gumiho. That's going to be an amazing series as well, Artosis.
The Tyrant himself.
Playing in his first big international event. It's going to be amazing. But first we have to finish this one to determine who is the #1 Swede who will remain in this tournament.
Indeed. All right, so Star Station is our map. Naniwa's going to gateway expand, okay? And not just because he keeps doing it, but it's really good on this map. It's a good choice.
I mean, is there a build you think that that Sortof could just do outright, rather than a reactionary build?
Just like a completely blind counter?
Completely blind counter.
We saw Hyun actually try it against Sase. I think that like a 10 gas, 10 pull, get speed with Zerglings right away. You're going to keep Nano on his base for a very long time. You're going to make him do a 3-gate expand, which is something he does not want to do.
Well, we'll see what Sortof has planned here. He needs to do something if he wants to be able to stop Naniwa in his tracks, as we are ready to go on Star Station.
All right, down here in the bottom left of Star Station, it is our Swedish Zerg player. It is Sortof.
And up here to the top right, currently leading. We'll see if he can close it out here. It is Naniwa. Sweden versus Korea in this tournament. 2 Swedish players, 6 Koreans in the round of 8.
You know, that happens more often than not, I feel. Look, here's how it goes, generally speaking, in StarCraft. If Sen is in the tournament, he gets the furthest out of the non-Koreans. If Sen is not in the tournament, it normally is a Swedish player.
That's right, Sweden is pretty good at StarCraft 2, that is for sure here. Sweden loves you, Artosis.
Well, at least Robert Olin loves me, and that's all that really matters.
A gateway again here from Naniwa. And as you called it, I think you've called every single gateway expand so far, Artosis, in this tournament.
Pretty much. Thank you, Apollo.
Every single one.
Making me feel smart. I'm going to have to stop while I'm ahead. Moment of silence.
Artosis, whenever you predict something, it always happens.
Is that right?
That's right.
It either happens or the opposite of it happens. The Artosis curse. But
not in Sweden. It doesn't take effect here. Your actually predictions in general at this tournament have been pretty damn good.
Thank you.
Yeah, actually been pretty good. Better than in controls at least, that's for sure.
Well, that's not too hard, man. He's a little bit biased.
Okay, spawn and pull down into hatchery. When does he take a gas? It's cross position. He hasn't scouted. Does he take it straight away?
I say take it now. Just take that gas. Play like Leenock if you want. Get the speed if you want, but he needs to actually be very cognizant of when the move out happens with the probe and the Zealot. Because if he has, let's say, 8 Lings already at that point, yeah, it hurts because you want to make a lot of drones early on, but if you completely stop that probe from moving out, then Naniwa has to switch his build.
I'm interested to see, because right now he's not taking a gas. Naniwa's going to most likely open up very similar again. And if we see another 3rd hatchery going down, something's wrong, Artosis.
Yeah, something very dangerous.
And there's that 3rd hatchery going down. It's just been taken outright. I wonder if he's hoping that Naniwa doesn't attempt this again, expecting a different build from Sortof here?
You know what? He pulled the drone back. He was going to, and then he scouted the timing of the Nexus. So he realizes that this is the same build and grabs that gas once again. But I must suggest once again, I want to see the Roach Warren go down. I think that's going to be a better counter than the Speedlings, unless he wants to start Lings right now.
Yeah, I don't think he will, though. He's down to such a low drone count. Imagine if Naniwa didn't go for it, and then he'd be in trouble.
Yeah, he would. This is a hard build to counter, you know, and that's the beauty of bringing a build like this to this tournament. This is Naniwa's build.
Yeah.
This is not Squirtle's build, nor Parting's build. This is not Hero's build. It's not Rain's build. This is Naniwa's build, and he knows it better than anyone, and he's probably the only one that really knows how to counter it so far.
Well, there's the fourth gateway coming down again here by Naniwa, and he's going to most likely attempt the same movement out with the Mothership Core here. And obviously he's going to be in search of the third base. What happens if there's not a third base to be found?
Well, you know, I think he still moves in with his initial 5 Zealots and sees if he can grab a Queen. Because with that Mothership Core and throwing down, you know, a nice little Time Warp, that's going to slow the Queen enough that you might be able to kill it.
Well, Ling production is starting as well as Zergling speed here. And we did have that probe being chased by Zergling in the center of the map. 10 Lings on the way. Let's have a look at the drone count. Currently 35, and it seems to be Sortov's reaction to dealing with this is to start Zergling speed a little bit, I mean not Zergling speed, his Ling production a little bit earlier. 3 Spine Crawlers coming down as well here.
I got to call that overkill, but... You know, he was moving out actually to take the third and then decided, nope, I am going to stop this. I am not taking damage from this. But
what happens if he takes the Lenok approach and just consistently keeps on building Lings and just tries to break down the front door?
Well...
Does that not... I don't know if it will work or not.
That's actually a really good question. Maybe he is going to try that. You know what? When speed finishes with 3 Spine Crawlers finishing up, he can run right past all those Zealots and go for it.
But if Naniwa's smart here, he won't overuse the Mothership Core and will always recall upon seeing this, I feel. I think he'll be happy with the overreaction. We'll quit building Zealots. We'll continue to take the gases on the natural. And as I say, that gases get taken here. And I think he'll be happy with this. And I guess he'll try a slight contain here and be like, all right, keep building Zerglings.
You know what? You're right, though. He's going to have to move out with these Zerglings right away. He has way too many. He does. I don't know if he actually wants to engage these Zealots. That's a lot of Zealots. This is going to be kind of a...
he's going to go for the full surround here.
Ooh, that was a nice little surround going down.
And Naniwa just gets out of there, takes all his Zealots home, and now these Zerglings are left out in the middle of the map here. 42 Zerglings. There's a sentry there that's going to keep the force fields down. There are no cannons, of course, but the Mothership Core will be able to do something. He's got 4 gateways down, a Void Ray on the way as well.
And these Zerglings are not going to do much, so Sortof needs to actually take a third base right this second. And
I think I still call this a success for Naniwa.
I agree
despite
with
not
you.
really doing anything, he's forced a lot.
He wants to pull Enoch there, but doesn't look like it's going to really work out. Even if he broke through, there's so many Zealots, he's not going to really do damage.
Well, where do you think that Naniwa takes this from here on out? If we're going to call this a success, and he's happy, the hallucinating Phoenix seen the third base going down now at 8 minutes and 55 seconds, and goes in, sees the layer, sees the Hydrogen too. Does he just play exactly like he did before? Get the Phoenixes rolling?
I mean, he could. But I don't think that's exactly what he's going to do, because look, he's not making anything out of the Stargate. He's getting a Forge and a Robotics. I think he's actually going to go take a third base, realizing that the economy of Sortof has been completely stunted through the late third base, the 3 Spine Crawlers, and making just a ton of Lings.
Well, if we remember how Lenok played against Grubby on this very map, he's got to not let any holes, especially on that natural, and just make sure that his defense is set up here, which seems pretty good so far for Naniwa.
Yeah, he has enough Zealots. I think he can spare one on hold position in that choke, so Zergling's not likely to get through here, but this could be nice. It looks like Sortof forces a cancel.
And with Hydra speed on the way here, and nothing but Hydra production coming out too, well, I guess the drone did start there. It looks like he's going to try and pressure this before the Robotics Bay can go out. The Overseer goes and checks the Robotics Bay timing, and we'll see if he continues Hydra production or switch it over to drones. If he continues Hydra production, and he just added on a lot more Hydras. I'm not too sure I'm comfortable with his drone count at the moment. It's only at 50, and he's investing a lot in these Hydras. If he doesn't break that third base,
Well, I tell you what, he's going to get one more cancel on it. I am so sure he is going to get up there with all those Lings, with all those Hydras with speed, and he should be able to force the cancel. So he's doing a good job because he already did have so many Lings on utilizing them in this game in some way. They aren't completely useless right now.
He needs a cancel here. If he doesn't get it, he's going to be in a terrible position for sure. So.
No, he has to do it. And he has Hydraless speed, so they're going to move right across that map. And I feel like he can get it.
Look at him. He's pushing Naniwa into the open area. And that's going to make these force fields a lot less useful. And he's going to make his way around here. Naniwa doesn't want to give up this location. And in comes the assault here. How's Naniwa going to deal with this? He can't use the Nexus, the Photon Overcharge here if the Nexus isn't ready. And is he going to get the cancel?
Yeah, oh my God, and he does get it. Beautiful move there by Sortof, and doesn't really lose too much. A lot of Zerglings go down, but he keeps most of his Hydras alive.
And let's have a look at the drone count now, sitting at 68 in between the Hydra production there. He did saturate that third base pretty much. That was a good move there by Sortof, a needed move. If he hadn't have made that, then we could be seeing a quite fast game here once again.
Yeah, and in fact, I think Sortof needs to sit back, keep on spreading his creep, and wait till Vipers to leave the creep. He can't do anything else right now because Naniwa has an insane army, and it looks like he may be coming for Sortof.
I was going to ask, what happens if Naniwa comes, even with a single Colossus? How does he defend this?
Well, he has a lot of Hydras. He does have Hydra range, and he does have Hydra speed, so that's going to be very helpful. Because Hydras with range against this Colossus, well, I guess Thermal Lance is about to finish, so that doesn't matter as much, but this is going to be a reasonable defense.
Well, let's have a look how Naniwa's going to play this out. Time Warp does come down. I wonder if he'd be happy to go swing around the right-hand side and get a cancel. Oh, actually, sorry, that base has been cancelled. It was definitely building before.
Yeah.
And I think he actually looked with his army on the Zalnog Tower not to see a fourth base. And then decided to retreat off. I think if he'd seen it, he would have definitely gone for it there.
Yeah, I would have thought he would walk around off the creep because that's going to be a lot harder for the engagement. But you know what? Sortof is doing just a fantastic job of staying in this. He's forced a couple cancels. His Hive is almost done. Soon he's going to have Vipers. And, we don't have any Templar Archives right now for Naniwa. So Vipers with some nice abducts can get rid of all of his splash damage.
And we're definitely going to be seeing some Ultralists as the game goes on here too, with switching over to melee upgrades. Initially we're going to see Vipers, but I'm pretty sure we'll see an Ultralist Cavern going down once he feels comfortable with the upgrades here. But this is a very, very tight timing window here. 2 Vipers are coming up, but they need to charge up. They need to get the mana ready to actually, pull the Colossus in, get the Blinding Cloud down, and that window is not there. Naniwa's going to be able to pick this fourth base off.
He definitely is, and this is going to put a lot of pressure on Sortof to get something else done when those Vipers come out here. He may want to go for a counterattack.
Do you think that this base should have been the fourth base he would have taken instead of the south one?
Yeah, I think that you are completely right there, Apollo. That would have been a bit safer, a longer walk for Naniwa, and even small things like that make a big difference.
So right now, the Vipers are out. Is Naniwa in trouble at all until he gets Templar?
Well, his Templar Archives is about to finish. This man knows his timings, Apollo. He is so on top of exactly what's going on in this game at every single moment. Naniwa is really back up to that skill level that he used to be at.
Well, Naniwa definitely needs to find out about this Ultralist Cavern. I wonder if he'll start to realize once he sees the Lings being upgraded that this is going to be a problem to deal with, but as we see, Sortof is ready to take this fight. He's got his Vipers ready, he's got his Hydras. Great spread here. We're going to have to see feedback onto that Viper. If Naniwa can grab that, he will kill it in one shot.
This is a very hard to control army of Sortof, and in fact, he does back up. I'm not surprised at all about that. If he missteps at all, 4 Colossus beams on Hydras, are you kidding me? They will just disappear. So he's being very careful and a little bit more defensive now.
So I suppose this is the time where we're going to see some harassment from Naniwa with that Warp Prison that made its way all the way around and is going to get a bit of damage down here. Is he going to lose this Queen? Whoa. It doesn't look like it. Well, he may lose the other as that one's trapped in between the spawning pool and Hive there. Oh, no, he doesn't lose either, actually. Look at that. Both of them down very low.
And he dealt with the Warp Prism, it looks like,
I was going to say, yeah. But now the Ultras are coming in. They have not the best upgrades, but Naniwa's sitting back. I'm not sure he identified Ultralist play coming out yet.
Yeah, I don't think he did. He doesn't really have any anti-Ultralist stuff. We are going to see Banelings as well, but with Psystorm on the way, as well as these Colossi out, I'm not sure the Banelings will be able to do enough. The thing is, if they aren't looking for 1 second, the Banelings can do enough suddenly. You know, you connect a good little clump of Banelings with those Ultras making the path for them through force fields, and it can change the whole game around.
Naniwa's army is very, very strong indeed here. And, well, Sortof, where are you going here? I think Naniwa's the stronger holder here, especially now Storm is about to complete. He's got to be careful not to go off creep here. As Naniwa is going to have to control this army very well. He's got the Mothership Core ready to go as well for a couple of time warps. And 5 Colossus, that's a lot of damage output here.
3 Ultras in the army right now. 2-2 is getting there. And he's actually upgrading drops as well, which is really interesting. We might see some Baneling drops later on.
Ooh, both toe-to-toe at the moment, and a couple of time warps go down. Not the best time warps there.
No.
Couldn't quite keep the army in hold, and that kind of energy is a little bit wasted. How is Sortof going to take this engagement? I think he's roaring, ready to go here.
Whoa, and a Psystorm does go down. Another one as well, zoning out these Hydras quite nicely. Beautiful ones going down, and feedbacks as well. Naniwa crushing through the army.
Oh my, oh my, oh my. Did we just see a lot of units die there for Sortof? And Naniwa charges forward. 8 Ultralists are on the way here, and they will have better upgrades when they can come out, but is he going to have enough time here? Naniwa has such a strong army. Stalkers with +3 are going to do damage. A Void Ray mixed in as well.
Yeah, that is a great army still for Naniwa, but the 8 Ultras could help. The thing is, Naniwa's moving in before they're even done. The Ultra's only halfway done. He needs them right now.
This is going to be incredibly close, and Naniwa's going to take a fight against these Hydras, losing a lot of units already. Where are these Ultralists? 10 are on the way. Is he going to be able to make it work with these 10 Ultralists coming out? It's incredibly close, and Sortof is buying his time. He's waiting patiently to clamp down on Naniwa's army. He's going to have to go. 1 Ultralist goes down, a second one immediately. Sortof is running out of time.
This is unbelievable by Naniwa. He is hitting this just right, but the Ultralist flank is incoming. Does he have enough Ultras? I'm not sure that he does.
I don't think so either. Naniwa blinks left and right, and he stands tall in the middle of the map, and Sortof is running out of units here. Naniwa holds a 30 supply lead here. GG! Naniwa 2-0 Sortof.
Wow, Naniwa hitting the top 4.
Absolutely incredible game there by Naniwa. Flawless game 1, an amazing game 2 as well. And Naniwa will represent Sweden against Korea for the last remaining games.
Apollo, I am getting chills right now because Naniwa's sharp timings, his killer instinct, you only see play like that in PvZ from Pardon.
That was absolutely incredible, and I am eager to hear his thoughts after that game.
All right, in control. Why don't you go ahead, take it away? I want to hear what Naniwa has to say.
All right, well, let's give it up for Naniwa, please. And I think this is the right audience. Let's also give a round of applause for Sortof, an amazing tournament run for him as well. Sortof, please. Well, okay. Convincing 2-0, you're actually going to head into another match. The semifinal is going to be Gumio or Jaedong. And I heard you earlier say PVT is not really your favorite matchup right now. So talk to me about that. What's hard about it?
Well, I think ever since they made the boost, it became pretty hard. I don't know if we need more time to adjust, but especially me, I'm having a lot of trouble with PVT. So I'd prefer not having to play it, but I was in the EGTL house a while ago, and Jaedong, he owned me quite bad, so I don't know which one I want to play against.
Okay. Well, you just took the second question I had, so I'm a little bit taken aback now. Just going to ask you how you're going to do against Jaedong. No. Well, talk to me about your plans in Korea, though. I know that a lot of people have been following you through the GSL. You've made amazing runs there as well. Now you're at the EGTL house training. Is GSL in your future? Are you looking to join a pro league team? What can you even talk about that?
Well, there's not really any GSL anymore for foreigners. Like, if I play in GSL there, I have to skip WCS Europe, and it's the same prize pool, but with harder competition, so it kind of doesn't make sense anymore. Like, GSL was this league where it was like ridiculously much prizes, and still like really hard competition, but now it's the same prize money, so, well, when I booked the ticket to Korea, I wanted to really like start from scratch. Like, it's a new game. I wanted to prove myself again. I don't like to live off, I don't know how to say it, old achievements. So, well, that didn't go very well. So,
Are you coming back to Europe then, or I mean, you gonna stay there?
I'm not sure yet. I'm still thinking about it, but clearly Korea still has the best practice, so it's a hard choice.
Okay. Well, Naniwa's got a busy day ahead of him. He's got a whole other ass to kick in just a few moments. So let's go ahead and give it up for Naniwa as he's going to prepare for his next match. Thank you. Okay. Well, that makes it one more quarterfinal to go. And he actually just said it for me. It's Jaedong versus Gumio. But before we go there, we're going to do a quick commercial break. So get your beers, get your monsters, get whatever it is you drink. I had to do it one time. Anyways, I'm sorry. What he said. We'll be right back after this commercial break. See you soon.
Sure, sweetie. You go right ahead. Loser buys brunch, bitch.
It's time to pull some.
I'm standing here with Rat from Team Liquids. Hey, you have your fans here, I can hear them.